Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I've got a glitch build for you. So this will be the first glitch build on the channel and it'll be based on Kevin Durant. So the first thing we're going to do is actually change the system to the metric system. So you do that via settings and you scroll down to here, and as you can see, units of measurement is imperial. You want to change that to metric and then go back into your My Player Builder as such. Now if this does go too fast, you can always pause the video or rewind and watch it again to make sure you get the steps right. But first of all, we want to make sure he's a small forward, because of course KD's a small forward. He's right-handed and he's number 7, but the number doesn't really matter too much. But for the body settings, so the first body settings we'll do is we want to change the height to 197 meters tall and the weight to 113 kilograms. And the wingspan 2.19 meters. We want to change the body shape to burly as well. So once you do that, you can just go forward and just max everything out as such. And the takeovers doesn't matter, just choose any takeover. As you can see, build a slasher. And what you want to do is go back to edit build, back out, back all the way out to the menu, and you want to go back to the units of measurement via settings and change that back to imperial. So once you do that, of course, go back into the player you just created. It'll be the last file. Go edit build. It doesn't matter about the rebirth. Go back to the body settings, and now the first thing you want to do is change the height to 6'8". Then you want to change the weight to 250 pounds and the wingspan to 7'6". You also want to change the body shape to defined. And then max everything out, the same as we did before. The takeovers don't matter again. And then once this comes up, you want to click edit build again, because we're going to change everything back to the metric system. So go back out to the menu, go to features, settings, scroll down, change it back to metric, go back out, go back into the player creation menu, edit build, and then go back to the body settings. Now the first thing we're going to do is change the height back to 197 meters tall. The weight is going to stay at 113, and so is the wingspan. We're just going to change the body shape to burly, and then we're going to go and max everything out again. So it is a bit of a long process, but I think the build is well worthwhile. Once you do all these steps, so takeovers again don't matter. And then once this loads, we're going to go back out to the menu. So make sure you press edit build here. Back out again. We're going to change the system units of measurement back to imperial. And once you do that, that was the last step. So now we can get into the build creation. So what you want to do from here is go back in, make sure he's a small forward, and now for the body settings, we're going to first change his weight to 230 pounds. So we're going to lower his weight to 230. We don't want to go below 230. So his weight's going to be 230 pounds, and then we want to change the height to 6'10". So of course KD 6'10". Now you won't get the big man contact dunks on this build because we have glitched it. It does think that the build is shorter than what it actually is, so you won't get the big man contact dunks, unfortunately, but you will be 6'10". Now the wingspan and weight don't matter now. You can change those at will to whatever you want. I just chose to keep it at 230. I chose to drop it to 197, which is the minimum. And then we're going to keep wingspan at 7'3". The body shape's up to you. You can change that as well now. We'll just keep it as built, and we'll move on to the attributes. So for close shot, we're going to push that to 86. You are 6'10 with a 7'3" wingspan, so there are chances if you're going to be playing as the big man on the park or the rec center 5v5 pro-am. So a close shot can come in particularly handy. You do get things like mouse in the house. As a small forward, you're likely coming up against players that are shorter than you. You know, quick fast twitch is Hall of Fame there, and you've also got grace under pressure and hook specialist. The driving layup, we're going to push that to 80. You know, KD's really good at scoring around the basket. He's got those long arms, so we definitely want some layup. For driving dunk, we're going to push that to 85. So you will have the pro contact dunks with this build as well as the contact alley-oops. So they're there as well. And with the 85, you do get Lob City Finisher Gold if you're into that. Now for standing dunk, I know you don't get the big man contact dunks, but standing dunk is very important as a 6'10 player. If you have really high standing dunk, you can still get a lot of dunks, posterizing dunks, even though you don't have the contact dunks. So I just chose 80. You can go lower. If you go any lower than 78, it does drop a badge point. So I just had the points to push standing dunk to 80 to get some animations. Now for post control, he does score a lot in the post, and he's quite efficient in the post, particularly with his wingspan and his height. So we want to push post control to 85, so you will have Hall of Fame post badges with this build. So, you know, back down punisher, dream shake, drop stepper, post spin. They're the main ones. Now that's all for finishing. Now for shooting, we're going to push mid-range shot to 86, which is the max, and the 3-point shot to 81. Now you are 6'10 with a 7'3 wingspan, so these I know KD's a lot better shooter, but these ratings are still pretty good for a 6'10 player. You do get a lot of things gold, you know, Hot Zone Hunters gold, Green Machines gold. You do have some silver badges, you know, catch and shoot, limitless spot up, and Deadeye are only silver. But that should still be enough to get you through. In terms of free throw, we are going to push that to 85. KD is a very good free throw shooter. And 85, you shouldn't be missing too many with the 85 free throw. Now for playmaking, we are getting the 85 bullet passer, 85 pass accuracy with this build to get the gold bullet passer. So that's really important. Ball handle, we are going to drop that one below the max, which is 76. You don't gain anything by going up to 77 except triple threat Duke gold, but I'm not sure how many people are using 5 badge points to get that gold. So make sure ball handle 76. And speed with ball is going to be the max, 71. If you do go any lower, you do lose a badge point. And 71 speed with ball on a 6'10 player is pretty decent. You know, you're getting silver quick first step with this build, so that can come in really handy, particularly if you're playing power forward against bigs that may not have clamps because they're too tall. So that could be a really great point of difference on offense. But that's all for playmaking. In terms of defense, we are going to have some interior defense because you will most likely be playing as the center on Park if you do like Park a lot and you play with other guards. So we're going to push interior defense to 56 just to get brick wall bronze, just to get those screen animations. As you can see, it does bump strength up as well. In terms of perimeter defense, we are pushing that to 84, which is one below the max. If you do go any lower, you do lose a badge point. But you will have some great badges in there, you know, pick dodgers gold. Unfortunately, you don't get clamps because it does realize that you're 6'10 once you're making this build, so you won't have clamps either, as well as the big man contact dunks. So that's the trade-off for making the glitch builds. You still should be okay with the pick dodger as well. Menace can be a badge that you may want to substitute for clamps to be a bit more effective on defense. Now steel, we are going to push that to 72 so that we get the pickpocket silver. You also get interceptor silver. For block, he is very long and he can get some blocks. He's had some big games where he gets a heap of blocks, so we want to push that high and have sort of a threat on defense. So I'm going to push that to 88 so that we get rim protector gold. Now for offensive rebound, we're pushing that to 67. Just so we get the extra badge point there, and then defensive rebound is going to be pushed to 82 for the extra badge point as well. So you will have silver rebound chaser with this build too. Now for the physicals, we are going to push speed and acceleration to 75. You can only go up to 77 with speed anyway, and acceleration is capped. So dropping speed down 2 is not going to hurt a whole heap. You won't notice that in game. Strength we're going to leave at 31. We are going to push vertical up to 75, and the rest will go on stamina. And that's the build. So in total you have 28 finishing, 26 shooting, 24 playmaking, and 23 defensive badges, for a total of 101 badges on the 6'10" Kevin Durant build that can pretty much do everything. You know, can finish at the rim with contact dunks, can shoot at a really high clip on a 6'10" frame with a 7'3" wingspan, can playmake, can take guys off the dribble, particularly bigs, and is very versatile as a defender. So, you know, this build is as close as I could get to KD. I don't particularly love doing glitch builds. I prefer just to do standard builds, but for KD I did feel like I had to do a glitch build. So we'll move on to the takeovers. I just chose pull-up precision because that's what KD's really great at, pull-ups. And then his next one, I chose negative impact because it goes hand in hand with pull-up precision. You know, because of his long arms, he can just shoot over the top of people and it just doesn't matter what you do. So those are the takeovers I went with. So as you can see, you've built a two-way mid-range maestro with shades of Scottie Pippen, Jimmy Butler, and Chris Middleton. You could argue that KD is a mixture of all three of those. You know, Chris Middleton's shooting, Scottie Pippen's defense, and Jimmy Butler can be pretty handy in the mid-range as well. So they're three pretty good shades or likenesses of. We'll move on to the badges. So for finishing, for KD, you definitely want some things that's just going to help him finish around the rim. Fearless finishes there, limitless takeoff, you know, fast twitch is a really great badge, back down punisher, drop stepper. He can pretty much do everything. So for KD, if you're going to make a KD build, you probably want something that's really versatile. So, you know, rise up, posterizer, unstrippable, slither finisher, you know, mouse in the house because he is so tall. Hook specialist is there, that could be a really great badge. Layout, you know, you've got grace under pressure as well that you can use, you know, Lob City. So there's a lot of badges here to make a really effective finisher. Now for shooting, KD's really good at post fades. We definitely want that on. He can definitely pull up from deep. We all remember the game in the closing game in the final series over LeBron. He hit those massive threes. Slithery off ball. It's a really great badge as well on bronze. You know, volume shooter, that's what he is. He's a volume shooter. So if we're making a KD build, we definitely want that gold. You know, snipers there, Hall of Fame. You could definitely put that on. You know, Deadeye. He's okay off the catch. I would say he's probably worth a bronze badge for catch and shoot. He's definitely got hot zones. He definitely loves getting to his hot zones. And once he gets hot, you know, he really stays pretty hot and he shoots really well. And with the last two, definitely clutch shooter. He's definitely a clutch player. Now for playmaking, he has gotten better as a playmaker. I would say it's worth at least bronze dimer. You know, glue hands is a great badge. He often plays in the post, so you might want to put that on as well. Unpluckable, definitely on silver. He doesn't get stripped a whole heap. He's got a pretty good handle, and as such, we probably want tight handles. Quick first step as well, because that's why we made the glitch build, so that we could push quick first step to silver. Handles for days is a great badge. You are playing as a big, so you probably want break starter just to get good passes. Downhills there if you're lacking speed. I won't put that on personally because I do want the gold bullet passer. And I do think needle threader is a good badge to have on bronze. And, you know, space creators there. And with the last one, you probably want to put maybe upgrade break starter to silver, or maybe put downhill on just for a bit of speed. But that could be a good playmaking layout for KD. Now on defense, you definitely want brick wall just to get those animations. You know, menace is there if you want to use that instead of clamps. That can still be effective. You know, pickpocket silver. You can protect the rim, so it's definitely worth a silver for KD. You know, tireless defender. Pogo sticks Hall of Fame here, but silver might be good enough. You know, intercept is great. Chase down artist bronze is great. You know, you've got pick dodger, intimidator, and rebound chaser. You can put that on bronze and have box out on bronze. You can always tinker with that for your own preference, but for KD that could be something that I would go with. All in all, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope you have a really great day.